What's up, guys? Sunday morning, 8:25. Check out my new wheels. These are WedsSport TC105Xs. If you've been watching my other videos, you've probably seen me tease these. And yeah, they look pretty good. But yeah, that's not the point of the video today. So if you've heard of the saying like labor, omnia, vincit, or vincit, I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's basically Latin for hard work conquers all. But here's the thing, like, I've come to realize a few things about discipline and hard work. When they tell you the saying like hard work conquers all, I feel like sure, it conquers all, but hard work also conquers all in regards to like yourself too. What the fuck? Like, you will screw yourself over if you work too hard and if you think about hard work too much too. And like, here's what I mean by that. All right, so like, just hear me out before you say like, this guy is just like, you know, fucking, like, he's just a youngin' who doesn't know shit about hard work and discipline. And you know, back in my day, like, just hear me out, okay? The first thing about hard work and discipline that I've come to realize is that it is kind of, so you've heard of like self-fulfilling prophecies. Hard work and discipline and just consistency is kind of like an anti-self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, you know, there's all these like people telling you like, oh, you gotta work hard, you gotta grind to like achieve your goals or whatever, but like, the more you think about hard work and the more you think about consistency, the harder it is to kind of like actually have those qualities and to actually like embody those qualities in your day-to-day life. And here's why I strongly believe this. If you constantly keep telling yourself that like, I need to be hardworking, I need to be disciplined, I need to be, you know, I need to push through, like, I need to go 110% at everything I do. Like, sure, that's good, but like, what you're kind of training your brain to do with anything, like any goal you're working towards, anything that requires some form of consistency, is you're kind of just training yourself to believe that that shit's really hard and it requires like an outsized amount of work and like an outsized amount of effort for you to achieve. You can't tell yourself about it. Don't talk to other people about, you know, how you're being hardworking and disciplined. Like, just do the thing. Because if you talk about it, if you think about it at all, you're just making it harder for yourself, because you're gonna be thinking that the task that you're working towards is harder than it actually is. I feel like this has happened to me a few times with things that I've worked towards. Like, I used to be really into powerlifting, and the thing with powerlifting is that like, you need to get yourself like really fucking hyped up before a workout, because you know, you're lifting a lot of really heavy weight. And I think one of the reasons it was hard for me to stick with powerlifting in the long run, like I did it for maybe like a year and a half, was just because like, I mean, it was destroying my body, but also because I had to keep telling myself like, oh, today you're gonna go so fucking hard, you're gonna lift so much fucking weight. And like over time, like that mindset was just really exhausting. Like, and overall, like I started getting stressed before workouts, because like I would just be like, oh my God, this is about to be so hard. And yeah, I just couldn't stick with it. And there's like so many different things that are like that, you know? Even like your day-to-day work, if you keep telling yourself every morning, like, I need to be super hardworking, I need to be super disciplined before you start your job, over time, you'll just be like, oh, like today, like maybe I don't have that hardworking attitude. Today, maybe I don't have that discipline. So you won't be able to do it, because you've trained yourself to believe that you need like an insane amount of hard work and discipline in order to do your job at all. When in reality, like, stuff's just not that hard, dude. Like, just take it chill, like, don't think about it too much, and I feel like stuff will come so much easier to you. So yeah, that's the first thing, dude. It's just like, hard work and discipline is kind of like it's an anti-self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm sure there's a better phrase to describe it, but that's like literally all that I can think about right now. The next thing about hard work and discipline that I've learned is if you think about it too much and you kind of you think like, okay, all I have is hard work and discipline, right? Like, you will probably face some form of imposter syndrome because of constantly thinking about hard work and discipline. And like, here's what I mean by that. It's kind of funny, dude. Like, when I started working, right, out of college, I was very anxious to prove myself to people. And I worked I worked longer hours than most, like, just because, like, I wanted to, like, you know, I wanted to have the results. I wanted to prove to people that, you know, like, I could do my job well. Like, I deserve to, you know, be in the industry, be in the position that I had. Like, that worked good for me at the start, you know, because I had good results. I was able to keep my job. I was able to, you know, get raises or whatever. Like, it was good. I was working at 120% of my capacity. I was working extra hard, like harder than it was sustainable. And I had kind of picked up this habit from college, because at the start of every semester, I'd start off at 120%, and then I would burn out like at around like 2/3 of the semester. And the last like 4 or 5 weeks through finals, I would just kind of like hobble to the finish line. And that was fine, you know, in college, because, you know, you got your 15-week semester or your 10-week quarter or whatever. And once you finish that, you're like done. Like, you can just relax, and then you repeat the same thing again. When you start working, it's a marathon. You're doing the same thing until you retire. You can't sustain the 120% level of effort that you start off with. And so I very quickly burnt out, and I had trouble even maintaining, like, you know, like 100% of my effort. Like, it was tough because I had burnt out, because I had spent so much of it, like, early on. If you think that all of your success and all of, you know, everything you've achieved can only be attributed to your hard work, that's going to give yourself imposter syndrome. Because if make this turn here, if all that you've achieved is you working at 120%, as soon as you fall to like your normal working level, your normal effort level of like 100%, you're going to start doubting yourself, because you're going to be like, all right, without that extra 20%, without that outsized amount of effort, I won't be able to achieve, and I won't be able to produce at the rate that I've achieved or produced at before. And you're going to start doubting your own innate ability. You're going to start doubting your own innate talent, and that's going to destroy your confidence. And that's exactly what happened to me. As soon as I burnt out and I wasn't able to produce at 120%, and I was back at like, you know, 190% effort on days because I was so burnt out, I started to really doubt whether I belonged in this field, because I had worked for so long at 120%, you know, to produce at the level that people had expected me to produce at. And as soon as I fell, I was like, all right, like, there goes like my X factor. There goes like, you know, like the reason why I deserve to be here. And so, like, my imposter syndrome went crazy, and that kind of just made the burnout like so much worse. And it was really tough, dude. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, don't attribute everything that you've achieved, everything that you're working towards, to hard work. Like, sure, like, it's good to work hard, but the more you think about the hard work in this case, and the more you attribute things that you accomplish to hard work, if you're working way too hard and you're working and you're like pushing yourself to the point where you're gonna burn out, when you burn out, it's gonna be so much worse, because you're also gonna get imposter syndrome, because you're just gonna doubt yourself and your own ability. And so that kind of leads me to my third point. People don't really understand today, like, I feel like how to work hard at like a sustainable level. Like, that's not really something that we're taught in school, you know? Like, I feel like it's almost encouraged to work so hard and like to do work in bursts, because because of how like the semester system is set up, because of how like midterms and finals are set up, you know, like, and even with work too, like, you're kind of encouraged to do work in bursts and not to, you know, do stuff at a sustainable level, because you have deadlines, you know, you have people like telling you to meet stuff. And because like I feel like we live in a time where everything is so optimized, like, people expect more from you because things are so optimized, and I feel like it's more stressful to work now than it's ever been before. But that's a separate topic. And so you need to find what like a sustainable rate means to you. You need to find what, you know, your 95, 100% rate means to you, and you need to stick with that, because like nothing else really matters. Like, sure, you could produce at 120% of your effort level, but eventually you're gonna burn out, and it's gonna be hard for you to even sustain, you know, the 95 or 100% that, you know, you could be doing. And so if you just start off at that 95 or 100% from the very start, then you'll be able to work for much longer, and you won't be able to, you won't experience burnout. I'm not trying to say like I'm like, you know, a more hardworking guy. You know, I'm not trying to say I'm more talented or better than anyone. I'm just some guy on the internet who, like, you know, like has some thoughts, and I'm just trying to share like some thoughts that I have just from, you know, like living my life. I'm not like the other POV YouTubers, man. I'm like POV YouTuber from Wish. I'm like wearing a fucking running watch, driving a Miata and not a Porsche. Like, I'm just some dude. So, you know, don't take what I'm saying like too seriously. Like, it's definitely not like a one size fits all, but I do hope that you guys are able to get something out of what I'm saying. 0 to 60 eventually. Whatever you guys are working towards, whatever you're struggling through, I guess I just want to let you know that I'm rooting for you with whatever you're doing. You know, life is fucking hard. Life is complex. And I'm not trying to say like I have like the keys, the solutions to life. Take what you want from what I'm saying. And don't forget to reward yourself too. That's one thing I want to make clear, because I feel like some people might think like, oh, if I don't want to think about hard work, if I don't want to think about, you know, the discipline, like I can't think about rewarding myself for being hardworking. And no, that's totally not true. Like, you need to reward yourself for achieving things. You need to reward yourself for accomplishing things, because that is like such a key part of like, you know, like working towards goals. It's just like rewarding yourself, because if there's no reward, there's no dopamine, and you know, your brain just gets fucked because you can't like keep at it, because there's no like, we're all just fucking chasing dopamine at the end of the day, dude. That's just like, we're just like sacks of meat chasing dopamine. Make sure you reward yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you like also have time to relax if you can. And if you feel like you need to keep telling yourself that you need to work really hard, you need to be really disciplined to do the thing that you're doing, and it's not just coming to you, chances are you're not recovering. You're not like giving yourself enough time to rest and recover. Oh, that thing's looking mean. He's looking like a mean piggy. All right, guys, welcome to Rose Bowl. This is where I'm about to be. Running for the next hour or so. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to your POV YouTuber from Wish. Oh. See if I can get you guys a view of the new wheels from a distance here. God damn. And the new tires I got are like a little bit beefier too, which fill out the wheel wells nicely. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't be too hard on yourselves. Take care of yourselves. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.